falling willingly just to try to get in the shot that will finish things in.
Oh, the uppercut.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
It's over.
Mike Tyson has been knocked out.
Unbelievable.
In 1990, the most feared man in boxing walked into Tokyo as an invincible champion. He was young, rich, unstoppable, and completely untouchable in the eyes of the world. But by the end of that night, the aura was gone, the myth was shattered, and for the first time, Mike Tyson looked human.
The one and only Iron Mike Tyson!
This is the story of when Mike Tyson almost lost everything against Buster Douglas.
Remember the dressing room instruction. Shake hands and good luck, both.
Mike Tyson wasn't just a champion in the late 1980s, he was a phenomenon. Trained under the legendary Cus D'Amato, Tyson had been molded from a troubled kid in Brooklyn into the youngest heavyweight champion in history. By the age of 20, he had demolished Trevor Berbick and claimed the WBC heavyweight title. Soon after, he unified the division, collecting the WBA and IBF belts and becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Knockout after knockout, Tyson's legend grew. He wasn't just beating opponents, he was destroying them.
Oh, big right hand landed that time. Now the problem is the judges don't see. One thing for sure, he's come to fight.
His speed was unreal, his power terrifying. His peekaboo style, drilled into him by D'Amato, allowed him to slip punches and explode with combinations that left men frozen in place. Fighters were defeated before they even stepped into the ring.
Buster is winning the second round, which is very surprising. Of course, Mike at any time lands that big shot. Midway through the second round, Judge, we're actually talking about Octavio Miran.
Promoters marketed him as an unstoppable force of nature, but by 1990, cracks had begun to show. Cus D'Amato had passed away in 1985, and with him went the steady hand that kept Tyson grounded. Without his mentor, Tyson's discipline began to fade. He surrounded himself with new advisors. His marriage to Robin Givens turned into a public disaster. Interviews exposed a volatile relationship, and the media circus grew louder. Eventually, the divorce became messy and expensive, costing Tyson millions. Behind the scenes, Tyson's training suffered. He was still winning, but the sharpness wasn't the same. Instead of grinding sessions in the gym, there were late nights and distractions. His once terrifying focus started to blur.
As I said, he throws the left and the right behind him. And now let's see if Buster can hang on and keep him off. Instead, it's Buster coming back. Now, it's a better fight than we ever dreamed of here in Tokyo.
Still, when the fight against Buster Douglas was announced, nobody took it seriously. James Buster Douglas was seen as a tune-up fight, a big underdog. The odds were astronomical, 42-1 in some places. Most believed the fight wouldn't last more than a few rounds. Tyson was expected to steamroll him, collect his paycheck, and move on to bigger paydays, possibly even a mega fight with Evander Holyfield. The fight was scheduled in Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome.
And that's it, we're in the early moments here of the fourth round in Tokyo, because they're the tallest guys that I can recall in fighting.
Many in Tyson's camp didn't even bother bringing proper equipment. There were reports that Tyson's corner didn't have an end swell to reduce swelling. That's how lightly they took Douglas. But Buster Douglas wasn't just showing up for a paycheck.
He grabs on and holds. You see right there? Mike comes through, leans to the right, and then throws that left hook. Jose Ribalta that went 10 rounds.
Weeks before the fight, Douglas's mother passed away suddenly. The loss devastated him. Many assumed he would pull out. Instead, he stayed in the fight. He later said his mother had always believed he would become heavyweight champion. Her belief became fuel. When the bell rang on February 11, 1990, something felt different. From the opening round, Douglas didn't look afraid. He stood tall. He used his jab effectively.
Here, you see Mike Tyson in the black trunks, traditional, and Buster Douglas. For Buster, if he can hold Mike off, Mike will dispose of him early. that right hand to throw things that you're hoping for. But honestly speaking, Buster looks pretty good in the early going here. Tagged him yet with a big blow.
He moved with purpose. Instead of backing up in panic like so many others, he met Tyson in the center of the ring. Tyson, meanwhile, looked flat. His head movement wasn't as sharp. His timing seemed off. Douglas began landing combinations, real combinations.
By Mike Tyson. Can he keep that left going? Oh, well, gee, there's a right hand that gets through. Mike wants to drag this into some later rounds, but there was a real good right hand that landed off the hand.
Jabs snapped Tyson's head back. Uppercuts slipped through. For the first time in years, Tyson was being outboxed.
Maybe it's a strategy of Aaron Snowell and Mike Tyson to just kind of, make a fight of it through the early going and then catch up.
Round after round, Douglas built confidence. Tyson's face began to swell. His left eye puffed up badly.
The bell in. Buster not taking any of the shenanigans from Mike. And that tells you something in itself. Back into the corner of Mike Tyson, and we'll listen this time.
And just as rumors had suggested, Tyson's corner didn't have the proper equipment to manage the swelling. They reportedly used a rubber glove filled with cold water as a makeshift solution. Still, Tyson was Tyson.
The first two big shots and 3 and 4 shots landed, seen by Mike Tyson inside.
No.
As the rounds go by, look at Buster with the movement.
In the 8th round, he reminded the world of his power. A vicious right uppercut caught Douglas clean and sent him crashing to the canvas. The arena erupted. This was the moment everyone expected. The underdog was finished. Douglas lay on his back, blinking at the lights. The referee began counting.
As much as he's been hitting this fight, for the first time that I've seen him in his career. Oh, nice! He's already throwing more punches than that, I think, in the 8th round.
1, 2, 3. Douglas rolled over. 4, 5. He got to his knees. 6, 7. He rose to his feet at 9.
The count's up to 2, and 3, and 4. His eyes from where it's up to 7, and 8. And he does. All right. And the bell ends the 8th round. What a round for Mike Tyson. It'll be an uppercut from Mike Tyson that eventually catches him.
Many would later argue about the count. Some said it was long. Some said the referee hesitated. But what mattered was simple. Douglas stood up. And when he did, something shifted. Tyson had thrown his best shot, the knockout punch, and Douglas survived.
Championship of the world. Thinking the possibility of an upset because I have Buster considerably out in front of my scorecard and pretty good fight. And the fact of the matter is it's Buster that's making it the fight.
In the 9th round, Douglas came back strong. He didn't retreat. He attacked. Tyson's energy dipped. His defense fell apart. The once invincible champion was now reacting instead of controlling.
Against James Buster Douglas. We're in Tokyo, Japan. I'm Bob Sheridan. You're watching the heavyweight championship of the world. Thinking the possibility of an upset because I am.
Then came the 10th round. Douglas unleashed a brutal combination. Jab, right hand, uppercut. Tyson's head snapped back. Another flurry followed. Tyson fell for the first time in his professional career.
Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson.
He tried to get up. He grabbed his mouthpiece off the canvas, fumbling as he attempted to put it back in. It was a surreal sight. The most dominant champion in boxing crawling on the floor. The referee counted him out. And just like that, it was over.
It's up to 7 and 8. He's not gonna make it. Unbelievable! 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 Buster Douglas is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
Buster Douglas had knocked out Mike Tyson. It remains one of the biggest upsets in sports history. The world was stunned. Commentators scrambled for explanations. Was Tyson sick? Was he undertrained? Was the long count the real story? Promoter Don King even attempted to protest the result, claiming the referee's count in the 8th round was too slow. But the truth was harder to accept. Tyson had been exposed. He wasn't prepared. He wasn't disciplined. He wasn't the focused destroyer he once was under Cus D'Amato's guidance. The myth had grown larger than the man, and in Tokyo, reality caught up. Financially, the loss was devastating. Massive future paydays evaporated overnight. The planned super fight with Evander Holyfield was derailed. Tyson's aura, the thing that sold tickets and terrified opponents, was cracked. Psychologically, it may have been worse. Tyson built his identity around dominance. Fear was his weapon. But once opponents saw Douglas survive and win, they realized Tyson could be hurt. He could be outboxed. He could be beaten. Douglas, for his part, achieved the impossible, but his reign was short-lived. He lost the title later that year to Evander Holyfield. Critics claim Douglas lacked the long-term discipline Tyson once had. Ironically, the man who shocked the world couldn't maintain the mountaintop either. As for Tyson, the loss marked the beginning of a turbulent decade. Legal troubles followed. In 1992, he was convicted and sent to prison. When he returned to boxing years later, he regained titles, but never fully regained the mystique. The Douglas fight was more than a single loss. It was a turning point. It revealed how fragile dominance can be. It showed that talent without discipline can unravel quickly. It proved that hunger sometimes beats hype. For Tyson, Tokyo was a wake-up call that came too late. Looking back, the fight feels almost symbolic. On one side stood raw power, fame, and overconfidence. On the other side stood preparation, belief, and motivation fueled by personal loss. In that clash, belief won. Today, the fight is still studied by boxing analysts. It's replayed in documentaries. It's cited whenever a massive underdog dares to dream. The image of Tyson searching for his mouthpiece remains one of the most shocking visuals in sports. Yet in many ways, that night may have saved Tyson from himself. Without the loss, perhaps the recklessness would have continued unchecked. Perhaps the fall would have been even harder. Sometimes, a defeat forces reflection in ways that victory never could. Buster Douglas didn't just win a fight. He shattered an illusion. And Mike Tyson, for the first time, had to confront a version of himself that wasn't invincible. He almost lost everything that night. His titles, his aura, his financial future, and the fear that made him king. What remained was the man beneath the myth. And that man would have to fight a much harder battle in the years to come, outside the ring.